Welcome everyone to the game between Matthias Bluebaum and Anish Giri. There you see Matthias talking to his countrymate Vincent Keimer, and Anish Giri enters in. This is the battle between the Grand Swiss #1 player and Grand Swiss #2. And there you see a young boy comes for Anish's autograph, and Anish is a bit surprised, like, how did you get inside the players area? But I'm pretty sure that the young boy is so excited to get the signature, and there you can see Matthias and Anish having a good time. Anish is such a guy who is on good friendly terms with just about every single player, and today he will be trying to score against Matthias Bluebaum. As you can see, Matthias is in amazing form. He's on 5 points here out of 9, while Anish is on 4.5 points. His last 3 rounds have been amazing, beating Gukesh, beating Abdusattorov, and then draw against Fedosiev. There are a lot of spectators who have come in to watch these players play. The game is about to begin. Matthias Bluebaum takes his chair. It's 2 hours for 40 moves and then 30-second increment for the remaining game, with a 30-minute increase as well after 40 moves. Matthias opens the game with pawn to d4. Matthias is a d4 player, and Anish, wow, he goes for g6. It's a small surprise, I believe. Pawn to c4 and bishop g7. So Anish trying to go all out against Matthias with the black pieces. And now he plays the move pawn to d6. Will we see Anish playing the King's Indian? He generally plays it in Rapid and Blitz in must-win games. But can he do it in classical chess? Whoa, he's going for the c pawn. Pawn to c5. This is slightly offbeat. But if you look at the databases, Matthias Bluebaum has actually played this position so many times. He's played it even against Magnus Carlsen. And now Anish gives up his bishop here for the knight on c3, giving his opponent doubled pawns, but also parting away with such an important bishop, and plays e5 to now put the pawns on the dark squares. Matthias quickly takes the pawn on e6. So, very, very interesting imbalance has been created with white having doubled pawns, which are not so great looking. Bishop d3 played by Matthias. He wants to maybe get his knight to e2, pawn to f4 and castles. Knight comes out to f6 by Anish. The dark squares are weak, so if bishop g5, you can play h6. And then bishop h4, you even have g5. So that's not a problem. Knight e2 played. And now you can't really castle here, because then bishop g5 is a killer move. There's no h6 coming up. So better is to move the knight. He does play his knight to h5, controlling the f4 square here. And also coming out of these pin ideas. This is all prep for Anish. Castles. And now knight c6, queen e7 and long castle seems to be a nice plan. He does play his knight to c6 here. I think white's play has to be energetic, because he is riding on a dangerous position here with these weaknesses. f4 makes a lot of sense, because he wants to play f5 and try to get to the king while he is in the center. Bishop d7 played. I think queen e7 was also possible, but just bishop d7 coming out from the f5 break. And pawn comes up to h3. I think Matthias is going g4 next. He's really trying to go all out against Anish here. Anish Giri now brings his queen forward. He is preparing long castle. The engines give black a very sizable edge out of the opening. So it does feel like Anish's opening idea has worked. And pawn to g4. Wow, what a move. By the way, a great move here is queen h4. Because if you take, I take, and there is mate coming in here. So queen h4 is an excellent move. Will Anish play it? No, he brings his knight back to g7. Logical, quite logical. But now Matthias can move forward. f5. And that seems like the right way to continue. Yes, he plays his pawn to f5. Now Anish, well, f6 could be a very strong idea. So he moves queen to h4, trying to win the pawn here. And now knight to f4 played, defending this pawn. If you play g5, then knight g2 can come. But difficult to say now what to do. He goes h5. This is a big mistake by Anish. And he took roughly 3 minutes for this move h5. But he's missed the fact that now Matthias has an amazing sequence. Matthias had 1 hour 21 minutes when this position is reached. And you know, he has to calculate several moves ahead to take advantage here. Knight g2 played out after just around 10 to 11 minutes of thought. Knight g2 attacking the queen. Now you don't want to be going back because then f6 comes in, and or fg6 and e5 and opening up. So you must take the challenge and take the pawn on h3. For Anish, it dawns on him that what he's getting into is dangerous, but he must do it. He takes the pawn on h3 after 9 minutes of thought, and right now we are on move number 16. Now, in order to justify the pawn that you've given up, rook f3 is a must. He plays it. Anish can now snatch another pawn. You see, he comes back, he takes the pawn. And now another move that needs to be found is bishop e2, and he does it instantly. So the queen does not have a square to go back. Queen e4 is met with rook e3. So actually, this position is really dangerous because bishop f4 is coming and then rook g3 trapping the queen. Pawn takes on f5. And now the best move once again is this beautiful rook e3. Attacking the queen, you can't go back to g6 because of e takes f5 discovered check and you lose the queen. So Anish comes back queen g5. What kind of discovered check do you have here as white? So e takes f5 check is the best move, and he does it. E takes f5. Matthias has been making accurate moves one after the other. Rook e7 played. So now there's no rook takes e7 check to win the queen because the queen itself would take it back. But now again, the best move and the only move is queen takes d6. He finds it. Queen takes d6 on the board. Threatening now, for example, if you take here, queen takes, king takes and rook d3 check and you lose the queen. So that's the reason why here Anish cannot take this pawn. He's now struggling with even rook g3 coming in. f6 could be a threat. Too many ideas here. He plays bishop c6, threatening mate in 1. And rook g3 is a good move. Rook g3, queen f5 and rook takes g7. This should give white a good position, but there is an insanely strong move, which is very tough to spot. Rook e4. He finds it. Whoa! He blocks this diagonal so that there's no queen g2 mate, and he now attacks the queen on g5. Queen takes g2 taken. King takes g2. And now bishop takes e4 check. What a move here by Matthias. He's given up materially. It seems like Anish is okay because he has a knight and a rook and a pawn for a queen after knight takes f5. I mean, he'll have 2 pawns even. But the problem is everything's loose. For example, knight f5, queen e5 attacks here and here. So he goes and takes with the bishop. And now bishop g5. It's powerful and it's game over. Because how do you protect this knight? There's just no way. And if you move the knight away, check and you lose this. I mean, for example, bishop g5, knight g6. I can go bishop f6. It's just over. He finds it. Bishop g5 on the board. Anish Giri. Well, it's just 25 moves, but what accuracy Matthias Bluebaum has shown. 10 back to back fine moves, and Anish resigns. With this, Matthias scores a huge win. He moves to 6 points out of 10, just half a point clear of the leader. And well, Matthias is showing everyone that they can expect a lot from him in the candidates. He is not just going to play normal chess and defensively. If you go all out against him, he's capable of beating the best in the business. Will he win the Tata Steel Masters 2026? 3 rounds to go, but what a game by him here.
I mean, I already saw the engine evaluation without, I just checked with Anish a bit the game, so I saw what the engine says. So now I'm less happy with the game. Like without engine, I thought, wow, like I just crushed him. Such an amazing game. But now I saw like we both completely misevaluated the position.
And well, you can tell us actually when we get to that stage where you
Yes.
evaluated.
So when he played the c5 here, I mean, already when he played this move order, I understood he probably wants c5, and it's a very trendy line to play this, and he probably has seen online games where like always play d takes e6. So I was thinking for a bit, because of course I understood I'm running into a preparation, but also d takes e6 I enjoy much more because it opens the position, and it's also playable for white. It's interesting. Like Black's idea is just to have a close position and run with the king to c7 and just enjoy life positionally. So yeah, I thought, let's play this. I mean, online I always basically pre-move after d takes e6, I pre-move rook b1, which is what the engine normally says, but I just figured, okay, let's try to be a tiny bit different and start with this bishop d3 knight e2.
And it would make sense, right, to not keep playing what he would have seen, right?
Yeah, I mean, I understand, like, he's probably very deep into what I normally play, so I try to mix it up a tiny bit. Not really, because it's still like the same setup with bishop d3 knight e2. So he played this knight f6, knight h5, which is supposed to be the best way to play for black to prevent knight f4. Yeah, castles knight c6, and yeah, to be honest, I didn't fully know what to do, and I thought, okay, f4 looks very principled. Like, I'm structurally slightly worse, but I have the bishop pair. I just want to like try to attack and open the position. So I played this f4. Yeah, he played bishop d7, which I think is good, just like proactively going out of f5 with tempo. I mean, after the game, we also saw he could have just played like this. I mean, we both thought that this is interesting for white, but yeah, I think it's just actually fine in all lines. Like knight f4, he can probably play gf, and he's just fine most likely. I mean, there was a line with this and rook g5, but it seems to work out for black.
It's a pretty crazy position.
Yeah, it's very, very crazy, and also I had no clue whether f4 is bad or not. I remember these positions are like 0.2 or about equal, like if he plays correctly, but maybe f4 is already bad for me, I don't know.
But it was, I mean, in a way, like ambitious. I guess you also don't want to sit when you feel, okay, my opponent plays 1g6, he wants to fight. You also don't want to back down, in a sense, I guess.
Yeah, I wanted to try to punish it. I mean, like, if I just like let him win this game, I feel a bit sad. Yeah, like he can just play g6 against me and win easily. So I thought, okay, let's at least try to.
A matter of principle.
Yeah, yeah. So he played bishop d7, and I mean, yeah, now f5 looked too slow, so I played this h3. And he actually very quickly played this queen e7, which, yeah, I was very surprised how quickly he played it, because there are many moves. He can go queen h4, so there's no direct g4. I mean, I thought everything should be fine, like worst case I can go queen e1, and I thought these endgames always should be even slightly better for me, but since seeing the engine evaluation, I understand maybe I'm just completely wrong about chess, so...
Well,
yeah.
There we go again. Our fans will be happy to... Do you know that you're famous for your self-deprecating humor?
No, but it's... Yeah, okay. Yeah, so queen e7, and yeah, I played g4 because it felt principled. Yeah.
Did Anish say something about this queen e7 moment?
Yeah, I think he underestimated g4, because he probably also, what he missed is that after knight f6 I can just go e5, and I think it's basically borderline lost. I mean, because my pieces just get active. I mean, the one line I shortly thought about. I mean, it's not really necessary, but it just looked cute. Like here, I can go queen a4, and my threat is actually queen takes a7, or knight b6. But if he moves the bishop, I can actually go queen a7. I think, because if he takes on d5, I have queen.
Let's show it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is checkmate. And if he takes on d5, I should be giving check, and take on d5. It's not very important, but
yeah, but it's a very cute line.
yeah, it makes fun in
Yeah.
like calculating such lines. So yeah, knight f6, e5. I mean, yeah, it looks very sad for black. I don't think he survives. So he played knight g7, and yeah, f5 is the principled move. I'm threatening f6. Queen h4 also looks very natural, and yeah, I saw this knight f4 look very interesting because yeah, there are some ideas where I can trap his queen with knight g2.
But queen h4 was the mistake, right?
No, queen
Right.
h4 is still
Oh, no.
fine. h5 was actually.
Oh, it was
mistake. I mean, he spent a lot of time for knight g7, then yeah, queen h4 he blitzed out, and h5 he also played rather quickly. in 3 minutes.
h5 was the mistake.
h5, and then it's bad. Yeah. Apparently the engine says this is actually quite decent for black. I mean, I saw that probably here I'm not trapping his queen in these lines because yeah, now I'm like his king is not in the center anymore, and I think it all works out after gf. So my intention was to just play this and trade queens, and I thought, yeah, wow, such an amazing position. I have like the dark squared bishop, his dark squares are all weak, his knight on g7 is stupid, but I've seen that engine actually likes black, so yeah, maybe,
Which is hard to understand.
at least for me,
Yeah.
maybe I need to work more on chess. So he played
Still have a couple of months before the candidates.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so he played this h5, and I mean it's a very forcing line now, and he just missed a small detail, which is unlucky.
Did
for
you
him.
realize actually? That
I mean,
h5
when I
was-
started calculating here, I
Yeah.
spent like 10 minutes again here, and here I already saw this like queen d6, queen d7 in the end. I mean, because also it's very forcing. Like he's cannot do much. I mean, if he goes back, my intention was to just move my bishop and attack the pawn, but I was also considering this, and yeah, during the game I couldn't completely figure out if this is clear or not. But yeah, I mean, queen d8 is a very sad move, so it makes sense he goes for this. And yeah, the whole time I was also thinking like maybe he wants to sacrifice his queen somehow, but I also didn't see how.
Yeah,
Like,
to make it work.
yeah, and he basically blitzed out the whole line, like he always didn't think. Yeah, I mean, he just missed a small detail, which is unfortunately rather important for him. Like after, I mean, if he doesn't go gf, if he castles, for example, I have this bishop f4 and his queen is trapped, and I don't know. Yeah, it's very tough to find a defense here. Maybe there is none.
So what's the detail?
Yeah, rook
That-
e3, queen g5, ef7, ef5, knight e7, and he probably actually thought he's smart with this knight e7 because it looks after ef5 like I should just win the queen because if he moves his king, I have rook e8, bishop g5. But suddenly knight e7 and there's no discovery with the rook, but I have queen d6, and if he takes on f5, I have queen d7 and rook d3 check, and I think this is the... Because otherwise, actually, after knight f5, he might be
Yeah.
winning. So yeah, it's very unlucky for him because he went into this principled line and it just didn't work. Yeah, then, okay, he tried to mix it up with bishop c6, but yeah, here I'm also happy I took my time and found this rook e4 because I think it's by far the most precise. I mean, I saw I can win a piece like this, but maybe he has some small play. His bishop on c6 is good, but after rook e4, he basically also cannot keep the queens on the board. Because yeah, if some knight f5, I always at least have queen c6 and bishop g5, like the same trick basically. And yeah, after rook e4, I think it's just gone. He sacrificed on g2, took on e4, but unfortunately, like, he has rook and a piece and even a pawn. But his king is in the
the
center
king.
and he's losing some more material. If he takes this pawn, then queen e5, double attack on rook and bishop, so he always loses some material. And yeah, after bishop g5, he just didn't want to look at this position anymore, which is fully understandable. It's lost.
Absolutely. A big win for you, Matthias. And